Peace, blessings, and joy. This is Seth. We are so grateful to be speaking with you once again. We understand that this is a challenging time, that many of you are enduring struggle, upheaval, hardships, challenges, broken relationships, and we wish to give you a word of comfort for these troubled times. That word, beloved, is forgiveness. Forgiveness is key. Forgiveness is the doorway to freedom, to healing. The energy of unconditional love is the most powerful force in the universe. It is the energy of source, the energy of creation. It is the essence of existence and consciousness. Unconditional love is connection. You are connected to all things. So when you hold resentment in your heart, when you hold anger and hurt, when you are wounded by others, and you insist that they make things better, that they apologize, or you work very hard to make things just and fair, you hold off giving yourself this energy until your standards have been met. The energy of unconditional love and connection. Connections remain broken. Wounds remain open and bleeding. Hate, fear, prejudice are given room to fester and grow. The energy of forgiveness, however, is a release. Whatever you are experiencing, you may forgive that circumstance, that relationship, that individual, or even an aspect within your physical being. Forgive it. For forgiveness is what sets you free. Forgiveness releases you from the expectation, the desire for things to have worked out in a way that you wish they had, or that you believe should have happened. That person should not have spoken to you in such a way. They should not have betrayed that confidence. They should not have attacked your vulnerabilities. These are all part of your sense of higher justice, your sense of what is right when you are living in a world that is fallen, that is broken. You are living in a world that is fractured. But it is those obstacles, those breakages, that give you the workout. It gives you the chance to flex your connection muscles, to heal what is broken, to repair what has been fractured. This is a noble pursuit. This is a primary reason for your exploration of this existence, to overcome these challenges, to grow in your ability to love and connect. But if you hold on to what should have been, to what you believe must be, you are not living in connection, you are living in attachment. Attachment to what is not. Attachment to the way you believe things should be. Attachment to the way you believe other people should behave. Attachment to your beliefs about how the world should be structured. These are not the same principles as living in connection and love. You may strive for a higher existence without dwelling in attachments to specific ideas and specific actions that you wish were so. Forgiveness, then, is the key to overcoming those attachments, to releasing what you believe should have been. You may be suffering physically. You may believe that your body should be a different way. But if you can release that attachment, if you can release the belief that the way your body is somehow incorrect, you then begin to live in an energy of love. You bring in the unconditional aspect of that love. For many of you practice a type of love that only exists if certain conditions are met. Unconditional love cannot be broken. It cannot be hurt by betrayal. It cannot be cheated. For unconditional love extends without merit, without needing to be earned. Ah, Seth, you may say, how can I extend that to someone who has truly hurt me, someone who has injured me deeply? I cannot even think of them without feeling a rage within my soul. Well, there is the balance to be found between your sense of, forgive the insects, your sense of justice, of the higher way that things should be, but also an acceptance of where things are on the journey of your world and of your individual life at this time. You are always on that journey. You are always moving forward. You are always growing and learning. If you were through with your lessons, if you had nothing else to learn, your simulation, your life as you know it, would be over. You would have nothing left to achieve or earn or learn. But this is a new time for you to experience how to overcome. And this principle of release is for you. When you forgive another being, when you forgive that unforgivable person, they may not even be aware of your forgiveness, only on a soul level. But they may very well not consciously even register that you were angry with them to begin with. So thereby, forgiving them brings healing to you, for you release that hold in your life. You release that burden and grudge. You release that sense of need and attachment to what should have been, to that retribution that you have dreamed of bestowing upon them. You release those burdens, which opens your pathways to move forward, unfettered, unhindered, to move forward in healing, in love, in a new pathway. Even eventually, at some point in the universe, you will be reconciled with that person in another incarnation, in another life, on another world, in another level of existence. You will be reintegrated and reunited, for all are one. All are part of the same consciousness, the same source, essence, and being. So do not hold a grudge against another, for you are only holding it against yourself, ultimately. And in this incarnation, do not hold injustice and grudge against yourself. Do not hold debts and vendettas against your own being. This can take on the veneer of righteousness, of holding yourself to a higher standard, but in reality, it is very much a form of self-abuse. You are only hindering your growth by holding on to those attachments and those obligations that you hold your physical being to, or your actions. Some of you examine the past and kick yourselves repeatedly for those choices you did not make, for the response you should have had. This is folly. This is abuse of yourself. You must move forward. Release those patterns. Release and forgive so that you can move forward unfettered in unconditional love of oneself. This opens the pathways of connection to yourself, to those around you. The pathways of forgiveness can open connections to the planet, to your finances, to your politics. There is no limit to the areas of your life where you can practice forgiveness. This is our request for you. As you move forward from this time, we would ask you to practice radical forgiveness. Be generous with your forgiveness. Forgive like it's madness. Forgive as if it is some kind of disease that you have, that you must forgive everything and anything that you experience, that you encounter, that is connected to you. If it touches your life, practice forgiveness. You will notice a radical shift in your own perspective if you can learn to wield the power of forgiveness in your life. Peace, blessings, and joy. This was Seth. We are honored to have spent this time with you. Namaste. Hello again. It's so good to be back from summer break, although I think I've come back when it's hottest and I've got insects buzzing around. It's quite a time to be out and about on the California countryside. I'm here at Arrastradero Lake. It's beautiful. It's a tiny little pond really, but it's quite precious. There's reeds and little ducks swimming around. I just can't believe this super picturesque place has been hiding up here in the hills and I've never found it before now. But it's wonderful to be out again in nature and recording these videos. This message in particular was poignant for me. It was actually inspired by a session that I had with a client, and I asked their permission if it would be okay to ask Seth to speak on this topic of forgiveness and elaborate a little bit more. And for me, I recently experienced a very unpleasant exchange with someone who attacked what I do. They attacked my integrity, and I was very wounded by that. And I ran through a range of emotions. And then I had my session with my client, and Seth brought up this topic of forgiveness, and I realized that he was speaking as much to me as to the individual who had booked the session. And I realized it is such a freeing thing. And rather than get caught up in what I should have said or what they should have done or how we should have behaved, I can forgive that person and I can forgive myself and I can move forward in a way that is so freeing. It is great to be back. I realized that people might have thought that while I was on summer break from making these videos, that I wasn't seeing clients as well, but that's not the case. It's just that I'm a one-man crew. I'm out here filming, and then I go home and I edit and I put it together and I put it on YouTube. But it takes a lot of time to put these videos together, and so I was just giving myself a break from the production of that, but I was still seeing clients, but I stopped seeing people showing up messaging me who watch this channel as much, and I think maybe I just wasn't clear. So if you have been watching and you've been wanting to maybe have a private session with Seth or with one of the other guides, please check out universalreiki.com. As I did say, this is a one-man show, except for, Seth coming through and speaking. He does all the speaking. And so if you'd like to help support that work, there's a link in the description to my Ko-Fi, or is it Coffee? I don't really know, but it's K-O-F-I, Ko-Fi, where you can send just a one-time donation. I am so happy to do this work. It's really helpful to get support like that, and there are some guests I'd like to bring on and be able to give them a gratitude gift for their time. I'd love to expand who gets to speak on this channel and make it more than just my voice and bringing in guidance. But these messages are meant to be widely accessible. I do not want them behind a paywall or something. I decided against doing a Patreon because it's then adding another layer to that. If you just want to send some support, that's amazing. So thank you for doing that. If you just want to watch, also, thank you just for watching. At the very least, subscribe or click the like button. Those are great things to do to support the channel, and they don't cost a thing. So if you'd like to do that to help out, I really appreciate it. I hope you have a blessed week. I hope that you're feeling energized. I hope you start to feel the release that Seth was talking about as you practice that radical forgiveness. Be the crazy person in your friend group. People come to you and be like, how can you just forgive just so easily? And you just say, hey, it sets me free, man. It just sets me free. And I hope you start to live in that freedom. Blessings, peace, and joy. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Daniel Zafer-Joyce. This is Universal. I'll see you next week.